Hello to the Network Marketing Pro community. My name is Eric Worre, and today we're going to explore something different. We're going to talk about the 7 deadly sins in network marketing. Now, why would I want to talk about this? Here's why. If you're going to be around this profession for a while, wouldn't it be helpful to know some of the things to avoid? Wouldn't it be helpful, if you're going to have a long career here, to understand the things that will absolutely rip an organization apart, will take your efforts and diminish those efforts? Wouldn't it be important to know that? And maybe if you're engaging in one or more of these activities now and you don't even realize that they are deadly to your long-term success, wouldn't it be helpful to know? Yeah, I've been involved in the network marketing profession since 1988, a long time. I've engaged in almost all of these 7 deadly sins. So I know from experience that if you're around long enough, you're going to have the temptation. Sometimes it's because of ambition. Sometimes it's just because of lack of knowledge. But after watching this video today, you won't have the lack of knowledge anymore. You'll at least know the things that over time will have a negative impact on your business. I want you to become network marketing professionals. I want you to go to the top. I want you to have a smooth career. I want you to build something and have it last for a long time. So let's talk about deadly sin number 1. Deadly sin number 1 is overinflating your product or your opportunity. We've talked about this before, this idea of hyping up the product is magical cures, and using language that you shouldn't use when it comes to what your product can do or cannot do. Making sure that you're in alignment with what your company says that you can claim when it comes to your product. When you overinflate it in order to get a customer or in order to sign up a distributor, and you know you're overinflating it, it eats at you, and it also affects your credibility. Now, when it comes to the opportunity, it's very subtle how this happens. Usually it starts with kind of exaggerating your income. You take your best month and you tell everybody that's what you're making all the time. Maybe you only made that one month because of a special bonus or something. You lie about your income. Or somebody else maybe tells a friend in front of you, they tell a friend about how much you're making, and it's more than what you're making, and you don't correct them. And when you don't correct them, all of a sudden now you find yourself painted into this box where you are living a false reality and you're promoting a false reality. Maybe you qualified at one rank 1 month, but then you dropped down a couple ranks, which is normal. It happens all the time. Nothing to be ashamed of. But you're telling the world that because you qualified that 1 month at that rank, that you are kind of earning more than you're actually really earning. Just understand this. Inside of network marketing, the truth is enough. There's no need to exaggerate your success. There's no need to exaggerate the quickness of success of other people in the organization. There's no need to exaggerate or take one person that had magical success and make them the entire story for the whole company. The truth is enough when it comes to the financial opportunity. The truth is enough when it comes to your products. When you engage in overinflation and exaggeration, it has an impact on your organization, and people start saying, man, everybody's saying this, but I know it's not true. Everybody's claiming that, but I know it's not true. This person's saying they're making this amount of money, but they know it's not true. And once they have that knowledge that untruth, lies are being allowed within the culture, it starts to erode their self-esteem. The truth is enough. It's okay. Okay? So deadly sin number 1 is overinflating product or opportunity. Deadly sin number 2, and I struggled with this one my entire career in network marketing. When I built in the field, I'm retired permanently now, doing what I'm doing with you now. But when I built as a distributor in the field, and the biggest thing that I see, whether you're a brand new or you're a more established leader, is inconsistency. Hot and cold, hot and cold. You get all excited, you go to a conference, you get all excited, you come out and you're going to tear up the world. 2 weeks later, you just disappear from your group for a week, 2, 3 weeks. Then you re-engage. Hey, we're going to go after it this weekend. and you go after it for 3 days, and then boom, you're gone for 2 weeks. So rather than putting in a consistent effort in the hours that you have, you're hot and cold. And what happens when a person is hot and cold is the team starts to lose faith in following their initiative. If you're inconsistent for long enough, you say, hey, everybody, let's go tear it up. And no one will follow because they are afraid that if they do, and you're not going to be there 3 days from now, they're going to be unhappy about that decision. So inconsistency. Now the opposite of all these things is, the right path versus the deadly sin. So inconsistency will crush the efforts of any builder. Be consistent in the hours that you have. So that's deadly sin number 2, inconsistency. Deadly sin number 3 is negativity. Now, it might be a negative posture. You're kind of mopey. You're kind of, always looking at the negative. You like to gossip. You like to talk about other people. You like to spread these little stories around. Or your company goes through changes and you don't handle it very well. You talk about, well, the company screwed up with this, or then my upline screwed up with that. So you talk negatively about other people. You talk negatively about your company if they're going through change, compensation plan, product, something changed and you didn't like it. You tell the world, that becomes part of your brand. Negativity becomes part of your brand. People start knowing you as a negative person. And I will tell you, a leader cannot stay in that negative state and be a leader. You cannot do it. You become somebody that real leaders start to avoid. And that includes the people in your organization. They'll start to avoid you. You say, well, no, but I'm right. The company shouldn't have done this, and I'm right, and the company shouldn't have done that. That's fine. It doesn't matter what happens in your organization. What matters is what you do with what happens, how you respond to what happens. And you can have a choice of having a negative culture, a negative vibe, a negative posture, a negative mindset, or a problem-solving, opportunistic situation when it comes to your mindset. So you can be negative, you can be positive. That's a choice. Negativity will crush an organization. So that's deadly sin number 3. Number 4 is the idea of the week. A leader gets really excited. They get this technique and they just go crazy. And here's the idea. And they tell everybody in the whole organization, here's what we're going to do. A week later, they say, no, now we're not doing that anymore. Now we're going to do this. A week goes by. Oh, that one's old now. Now we're going to do this technique. So be very careful at the things that you get excited about and maybe you haven't even tested, and that you pour those things into your organization and expect them all to have success. And then you change gears the next week. You change gears the week after that. You change gears the week after that. Whatever the system you have, be very slow to change your system. Very slow to change your daily method of operation. It's really important that you provide some consistency within your organization when it comes to what you're asking them to do on a daily basis. Understand concepts remain the same. Strategies change all the time. Focus on concepts. Come up with whatever the system is within your organization that works, and be very, very slow to make any changes. Even if you had 1 week's worth of success, really test things personally and away from the group before you pour it down into the organization and expect them all to follow. The idea of the week will start to erode people's confidence, and eventually they're not going to take action at all. Okay, so that's deadly sin number 4. Deadly sin number 5